Have you ever stayed in a situation way too long, a job, a project, a relationship, not because it's the right thing to do, but because you've already invested so much time and energy in it? That mindset, can't quit now, already invested, that's the trap. It keeps us hanging around longer than we ever should have. That is a sunken cost fallacy, and it can hold you and your company back more than you could ever imagine. Welcome to the Learn It All podcast, the show for today's leaders who want to get ahead and stay ahead because we believe great leaders aren't born or made, we are always in the making. I'm your host, Damon Lembi, two-time best-selling author and CEO of Learnit, a live learning platform that has helped upskill over 2 million people over the past 3 decades. Let me take you back to a major investment Learnit made about 5 years ago. We were talking for years about the importance of needing to upgrade our LMS, our learning management system. But I never wanted to do it because it was a huge investment. It was at least $500,000, and I knew the time and effort to be able to do it would be tremendous. But on the other hand, we knew that if we made the investment and we took the gamble and it worked out, it would be a huge positive game changer for Learnit. We went ahead and started looking for new LMS systems. We even hired a high-priced COO to come in and lead the project. We spent months evaluating different platforms and even brought in more consultants, and eventually we landed on what we thought would be the best solution. We started the project, and I'd say literally within 3 months, it was pretty clear to me we made the wrong decision. Not only did we pick the wrong technology, I could tell this project and investment was in big danger. The definition of sunken cost fallacy is when we continue to invest in something, not because it's the right thing to do, but we continue to do so because we've already put time and money into it. And still after all this, I told myself, we can't pull the plug on the project now. Somehow we're going to turn it around and everything will turn out okay. Eventually, after about 3 months, it became so clear that this project was going nowhere, and I had to make the call and pull the plug. We aborted the project and we had to let the COO go. It was incredibly hard, but also what it did is that it freed up our time, our money, and our resources to build something that was much more aligned with the vision and the goals of Learnit and what we really needed for the future. What does it take to break free from the sunken cost fallacy? It's going to require a mindset shift. You've got to be honest with yourself and say, this isn't going to work out. We have to cut our losses now, learn from this situation, and move forward in a different direction. You're also going to have to challenge confirmation bias. Our tendency is to justify past decisions. That's where feedback matters. Getting outside perspectives may help you see things that you may be too emotionally tied to. Here's how to break free from the sunken cost trap. First and foremost, you need to call it what it is. If you're running a project or you're in a relationship and it's not going to work, don't be naive and trick yourself. Realize the situation you're in, and you have to take action and pivot. Number 2, stop throwing good after bad. More time, more money, more resources in a project that's failing, in a relationship that's going nowhere, isn't going to make things better. You need to face the hard truth. One thing that's very difficult to do, both personally and professionally, is put your pride in check. Don't let ego get in the way. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. It's time to stop making excuses, stop being stubborn-minded about it, and figure out what are we going to do to move forward and make things right. Another piece of advice, if you're working on a project or you're in a relationship and things aren't going right, put a go or no-go line in and say to yourself, look, I'm going to give it this much more time or this much more resources. And if it gets to that point and things still haven't turned around substantially, cut it off. Here's a surprising one that I think is really important. Pressure test it with your team. Halfway through a project, ask your team, if we had to start all over again, would we still move forward with this? If the answer is no, that is a clear indicator that it's time to abort the project. Finally, shift the focus forward. Stop thinking about what you lost and start thinking about what you will gain if you stop what you're doing now and you pivot and you go in a different direction, and how much better that would be. Before we go, I want to share with you an example of learning from sunken cost fallacy in a situation where I didn't repeat it. We talked about everything that happened with our learning management project. I made an even bigger investment before the beginning of COVID, and that was investing in an office building and having our own space that Learnit owned to move us into. My brother and I bought an office building, and the ground 2 floors were for Learnit to move in. With COVID and everything going virtual, we had this building, And I looked at all the money we've invested and the tenant improvements and everything. And I thought to myself, my first reaction was, well, we put all this time and money into it. We have to move Learnit into our new space. But the truth of the matter was, our business has changed. Our business went virtual. Most of our staff were gone. And we did the math. We looked at all the numbers, and it really made no sense to open up Learnit. Even though it sat vacant for several months, it was the right thing to do, both financially and long-term for our business. As tough as that was an example of learning from past mistakes and doing what was best for your organization overall. I hope this episode shed some light on what you can do differently and learn. And until next time, everybody, do me a favor, stay curious, keep learning. Have a great day.